Order, but before we do the pledge, I need to ask for a motion to amend the agenda to add an item to authorize the city administrator to contribute funds. I'd like to add that under old business. So I'll need a motion to amend the agenda.
Contribute funds where?
Make a motion that we amend the agenda to include discussion on authorizing the city administrator to approve funds for the fireworks display for the VFW in old business.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Chief Newhouse, will you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. I'd like to welcome all of our visitors here this evening. Now we're going to call the roll.
Alderman Kenny. Alderman Bellington.
Here.
Alderman Lockhart.
Here.
Alderman Wright.
Here.
Alderman Stevens.
Here.
Alderman Carney.
Here.
Alderman Schwartz.
All right, thank you. First item on our agenda is the consent agenda and the Finance Committee report from Alderman Bellington.
The Finance Committee met this afternoon. Most of our discussion was just a general discussion of several of the vendors that we use, bringing Alderman Stevens up to speed on kind of the way we conduct that meeting and what we work on. There were not any real outstanding items that we discussed. We would recommend approval.
Thank you. Consent agenda, need a motion for your approval. Alderman Carney.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve tonight's consent agenda.
Have a motion and a second.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second to approve consent agenda. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries 5-0. All right, next is public comments. Does anybody from the public wish to make a comment? Oh, okay. If you don't mind, come up to the podium and tell us who you are and give us your address, please.
Yes, and I am Carissa Hayward, and I'm the director of the Best Community Daycare Center just down the road here at 100 North 4th Street. And I'm really just up here today to thank mostly the Parks and Rec office for allowing us to use the community building. We've had some pretty devastating flooding ever since Wednesday and just tried to keep above water, literally. And so we got it approved through our state licensing that we can have our school leaders over here since they're constantly going to the park and the pool. So in a sense, it kind of works out. So that's really all I just really wanted to thank you all. I mean, it's truly kept us being open. So, I mean, our families really appreciate it and we do too. So thank you.
I'm glad something was able to be worked out. I'm
Yes,
sure that was
absolutely.
a pretty tense time. Anybody else wish to make a comment? All right, seeing nobody else, I'll move into the mayor's report. Just a reminder that the Chamber of Commerce Rodeo is June 19th and 20th. And then something that's not listed on the schedule that I wanted to call to your attention is on June 11th at 7 p.m. at the Odessa Fire and Rescue Protection District Conference Room. Planning and Zoning is having a workshop regarding commercial to residential transitions zones. So that's June 11th at 7 at the fire district. It's a workshop. July 3rd, that Friday is before the 4th of July, is city offices are closed. Keep that in mind. Emergency and police services will still be available. That's all that I have. Alderman reports, Alderman Bellington.
Nothing to report tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Alderman Lockhart.
I don't have anything to report at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Alderman Carney.
Nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Alderman Stevens.
Nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Alderman Wright.
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Next is Department Manager's reports, Public Works. I'm sorry, let me go back to my, Officer Billy Hopper he's on family vacation, so we are going to yet again delay his award, his service award. So he's somewhere along the Gulf of Mexico, I think, so. Now we'll go to the Department Manager's reports. You have Public Works and EMS. Any questions or comments regarding either one of those? Alderman Lockhart.
I went down McDowell Street, and I noticed that was blocked off because of the culvert that was collapsed. Are we gonna fix that ourselves? Do we know when we're gonna start that project?
Paul can answer in more detail, but we've talked to the Special Road District about helping us with that. And so we're going to keep it closed until we get cost and we can see how we can best fix that road. So have you heard any more, Paul, or do you want to, not pricing, but anything else from them?
No, it'll be 2 weeks before we can get the culvert from the time it gets ordered. And then they'll work with the section man to get it going.
So we're gonna do it with the special road district combined with the city of Odell?
Yes, we need to do something, because obviously after the flood, that was the only road that we lost, but we need to do something, but we're looking at how's the best way that we can do it cost efficient.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else on the Department Manager's reports? All right, seeing nothing else, we will now move into old business. The first item is going to be the amended item. It's a motion to authorize the city administrator to contribute funds to the VFW for the fireworks display. Somebody would like to make a motion? Alderman.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we authorize the city administrator to contribute funds to the fireworks, VFW for the fireworks display. Or authorize, general authorization, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I left the price out here. What I would like to ask is that the motion state that we authorize the city administrator to contribute funds not to exceed $3,000 to the VFW fireworks display.
And I would move that we authorize the city administrator to contribute funds less than or equal to $3,000 to the VFW fireworks display.
Thank you.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to authorize city administrator to contribute funds not to exceed $3,000 towards the VFW fireworks display. Any discussion?
I guess, I'm assuming that we found the funds that are okay to do that with.
Yes.
Okay.
The basic, one of the spots that we looked at for funding was from the city administrator's salary that we had the budget amount for. We didn't have a city administrator for
I got you.
a great portion of that time. So
Okay, that's right. Okay, thank you. Alderman Kermit.
And historically, it does lie within the right extreme, sort of in the middle, but $2,500 has been what I recall in the past matches, I believe, with the Chamber of Commerce, so.
For the fireworks?
Yes, so that's all that.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, or discussions regarding the motion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Next is Resolution 2015-08, resolution of the City of Odessa, Missouri, entering into an agreement with Larkin Lamp Rynearson for design, engineering, and construction management of CDBG Project 2014-PF-11 Johnson Drive improvements. This is a motion for your approval.
make a motion that we approve resolution 2015-08.
And motion to have a second.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2015-08. Any discussion? Alderman Wright.
The only question I had is in the background part of this, where it was describing what the resolution is about. It says in there that along Johnson Drive between Mason and Dryden. I don't know if it means anything there or not, but then in the resolution itself, it doesn't say from what street to what street. So I just wanted to make sure that that didn't make any difference about what we're talking about.
It's in that first page, the Board of Aldermen action report. The second paragraph starts on the second line. I think that's supposed to say Main and Dryden streets.
That's what it should.
Yeah. Because
Like I said, I don't know if it makes any difference there in that part or not, because it isn't part of the resolution itself. But I just noticed in the resolution itself, it doesn't say what the limits are in Johnson Drive. And I don't know that that makes any difference or not, but I know we know which streets they're going to, but I didn't know if it needed to be in the resolution or not.
Right.
If I recall, Freddie commented, not the last meeting, but the meeting prior to that the description of the CDBG project does say Main to Dryden.
Okay.
Yeah, and since it's in since it's in the summary, the action report, it doesn't have any official bearing on the resolution.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, I noticed it also. Any other questions or comments? Laura Myers from the engineering firm is here to answer any questions also. Did you have anything you wanted to add regarding the Johnson Drive project?
No, I think that the contract is all appropriate this time, and I did bring up 3 contracts with the correct page taken out. And if there are any questions, we're happy to answer them.
And actually to confirm, in our document, it is on page 93 in the description of the project, and it is survey, design, construction administration, and construction observation for street, storm sewer, sanitary sewer, and water line improvements to Johnson Drive, Dryden Street to Main Street. It is specifically listed there, so.
Mill and overlay, is that actually rebuilding the entire street?
I think the mill and overlay is for the, not the Johnson Drive, but at the very north on Main Street, that we were gonna go to the east about 3 houses or 4 houses.
Okay.
And I think that has to do with the drainage.
Okay.
But that is just the mill and overlay, normally where you come down and you take off the top part of the asphalt and then put it back down.
But Johnson Drive is a total rebuild?
Johnson Drive is a total rebuild,
Okay,
yes.
all right, thank you.
I believe it says curb and gutter on the north side.
Yeah, as well.
Also.
Yep.
On Main.
375 linear feet
Mhm.
of Main Street east of Johnson.
Yeah, and I don't know, but yes, the curb gutter's on one side, and that's from the exhibit that was in the report that went to CDBG for funding.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm assuming then on the south side that we're just gonna get around the corner then.
Yes, you'll have a normal, according to what I know, is we'll do the complete intersection, which means we'll get that around the corner on the south side, but not continue to curb.
Understand. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Next is resolution 2015-09, resolution of the city of Odessa, Missouri, entering into an abbreviated agreement with Larkin Land Brynierson for construction, observation, additional services. This is a resolution for your approval. Alderman Wright.
Move we approve the resolution 2015-09.
Have a motion and a second.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2015-09. Any discussion? Alderman Wright.
I understand now that that was what we had in the last meeting, so this is just has to do with the Second Street project, which wasn't included. Understand that. The only thing I got is, so who, and we're talking about is not to exceed $5,000? Is that the way I read that?
Yes.
Okay, so who, I guess, who says when you need to go and look at something? I mean, is that, how does that come about?
For the most part, Kenny will be available, and like tomorrow, there's a meeting. It's a meeting that we should probably attend for the city.
Okay,
And he should be able to make that meeting as long as the plant allows him to get off-site and go do that.
understand.
And for the most part, he will go as much as needed by the contractor. He'll make sure that the fire hydrants, he'll be there definitely to check the trench out, he'll be there to check the materials. He will not be there every single second they're laying the pipe.
Right.
But he'll be there to check and make sure the procedures are right.
Using the right materials and doing it right.
Right, and we've already done shop drawings. We've got most of those done. And he'll be there for the disinfection, make sure that we do the disinfection and testing right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we're gonna stay up with the phases as well, so we'll see the phases of the construction, so we'll be able to know when to go and monitor. Paul, do you have something?
And if we think that he needs to be there.
Understand, well, and that's where I'm at with this. I want to make sure that if we need him, then we need him, you know, I understand that, but I just to go out there.
he just won't go out just if he wants to. He'll be there if he feels it needs to be observed. Kenny's been
Understand.
doing this for like 25 years, he's got a lot of experience. And we'll also, if he absolutely can't get away from the plant and there's something that we need to watch, we'll double check with the city before we send anybody else up. And make sure that if the city wants to use city staff that day, that they have that opportunity to do it.
Well, trust me, I want somebody there looking at it to do it right. I just want to make sure that we know how we're going to attack it when we do need somebody there.
Yeah, and I don't, for the water line, it's a little bit different than even a sewer.
Right.
But we definitely want to watch and make sure it's done according to specs
Absolutely.
and standards.
Absolutely agree with
And
that.
he'll be at that meeting tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. We've kind of touched base about it today.
So if he isn't going to be, are you going to have somebody there?
If he isn't going to be, I'll double check with Paul and make sure someone's there if he wants us there. But I will give the city I'll let them, let me know if they want to pay for someone else to drive up.
Plus, I attend those meetings, Paul attends those meetings.
Okay.
So we'll be attending those
Very well.
meetings.
So,
Thank
you know, that's kind of the idea, is that he's up here, so it would save some money if we don't have to necessarily engage
Okay.
someone else.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? How does the daily observation report work if somebody's not on site?
We don't do it every day, only if you go on site.
Okay.
If he goes on site, he will make an observation report, basically the date, the weather, how many contractor people are there, what they're doing. He'll just write down and observe what he's seen that day. Typically, he takes some pictures, and they're all filed with that. But we can't observe if we're not there.
Right. Well, and
And I hope I wrote that appropriately, that it was when he was there. But that's one thing he will do when he's on site.
okay. We still have a motion and a second, still discussing. Any other questions?
Those observation functions that we will be doing at the city, will we be following that same type of procedure? Where, yeah, is there any reason why we can't be doing that?
There's no reason why we can do that.
Yeah, and it just gives you a full documentation of that project.
Yeah, we can work with Public Works.
Would you like a copy of our DOR, is what we call it, our daily observation report in Word, or?
Word would be great.
There
We
you
would like
go.
that,
I will
yes.
email that to you.
All right.
Well, actually, to Paul and everybody.
Yeah, copy.
Got it.
All right.
All right, any other questions, comments? All right, seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Next is new business. The first item is a motion to approve mayor's appointment of Sean Crouch to the Board of Zoning Adjustment to a 5-year term that expires in 2020. Talked to Dr. Croucher, and he relayed to me his desire to resign from planning and zoning due to other commitments, but he said he'd be more than happy to still serve on the BZA. So I'm asking for approval of that appointment. Alderman.
Move we approve the mayor's appointment.
Have a motion, second.
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion and a second to approve the mayor's appointment of Sean Croucher to BZA. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? 5-0. Next is a motion to appoint Carol Peters to fill the vacancy on the Economic Development Council, which the term expires in 2019. Motion for your approval.
Make a motion to approve mayor's appointment of Carol Peters to the Economic Development Council.
Have a motion and a second to approve the appointment of Carol Peters to the Economic Development Council. Any discussion? Just an update that leaves one position remaining on EDC that's left to be filled. And we have 2 now on planning and zoning with the resignation of Dr. Croucher. Seeing no discussion, all in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Next, the motion for your approval for a change order on the spillway contract completion date. Alderman.
I'll move that we approve spillway change order number 1.
Have a motion and a second.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Have a motion and a second to approve spillway change order number 1. Any discussion? Alderman Rain.
I'm assuming no cost, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion on that? Mr. Conway, is there anything you want to add? Okay. All right, seeing no further comments, all in favor? Motion carries. Next is ordinance number 2900, bill number 2015-08, first reading of an ordinance of the City of Odessa, Missouri, amending Chapter 3 by adding Section 3.101.1, inspection of businesses, Code of Ordinances of the City of Odessa, Missouri.
Make a motion that we approve first reading of ordinance number 2900, bill number 2015-08.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
In the summary information, it mentions doing a random inspection of existing businesses, but in the ordinance itself, it says that upon renewal of annual business license. Which one are we going to do?
It should be renewal of annual business licenses. That's how I'm sorry that.
So the ordinance part is
Yes.
the way that you want it to be. Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
Yes, I was just wondering at what point do the exit signs need to be in place if they're not there now? I'm noticing the door right behind me, there's no exit sign there, but I see exit signs everywhere else. I know there's another exit out that door somewhere, there's no exit sign there. So how do we stipulate where the exit signs need to be?
Well, they're required to be on every exit that takes you outside.
So, and we've given everybody a chance, well, business licenses are due July 1st, so that's what we've told them to have to be in compliance by then,
Or they don't get their license?
or they don't get their license.
Alderman Lockhart, the way I look, it's essentially a fire inspection. I mean, that's really what it is.
I understand.
And as far as the exit signs, I believe it has to be a direct access to the outside. So like this door back here, you actually have to go out and make a right turn to get outside. But basically, we're just asking for approval of, to add this into ordinance form to comply with what we require with the business license, right?
Yes.
The only thing that I noticed with it is under letter A in the actual ordinance, it says, all businesses opening in an existing building shall be required to obtain a safety inspection from the building code department and/or the Odessa Fire and Rescue Protection District. And I talked to Administrator Airy about this to see if the fire district had adopted the actual fire code to do these, because until that happens, I don't know that they have the authority to really go in and perform a safety inspection. So, the way it reads, it sounds like they can just go out and do a safety inspection without you being there. And I think that for right now, you should be
Okay.
on site. I definitely think the fire district should, at some point, if they haven't, adopt the fire code so that they can perform these safety inspections also. But until that happens and we get verification, I don't know that legally we can really hold a business to that.
I don't know what the fire protection district, what they would have power to do anything about it without the city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, if they go in and do an inspection, all they're gonna do is refer it to civil, and then civil's gonna be the one taking action. The fire district can't take any action, that I wouldn't think anyway.
We
Isn't
can
that
take
true,
that out.
civil?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, all they're doing
Until
is
they
gonna
adopt
do an
that code.
inspection and tell you what they found,
That's right.
correct?
That's right.
So I don't think there's a problem with that.
They want to come with us, so that's why that was in there, but we can take
Yeah.
that out, because you're right, they haven't adopted it, so they really can't. I mean, I'm sure by state regulations they could come in, but they would still have to come back and tell me that there's a problem.
Well, what Alderman Wright's saying is that if they're gonna have to report that back to you, then, and if you're comfortable with going off of their report, because ultimately the responsibility will fall on you, then you can leave it in there.
Or if they give a report saying that there's this wrong, then civil could go look at it,
Right.
confirm it, and then
I'm fine
take
with that
action
also.
that's required. I don't think there's a problem with that.
If it's something that you're fine with as
I'm
far as.
fine with that.
Okay.
So we can, you want to stay
Yeah, you
like
can
that?
stay, yeah. Yep. All right, anything else?
So that was gonna be my next question. Thank you for your meeting.
Sorry, I thought you were on. All right, seeing no further.
I just didn't know. Us.
Can you stand up and please come over to the podium? Sorry. That way we can-
Businesses that are state licensed, do we need to go about getting, like, for instance, for the daycare, we have sanitation, fire, and then our regular licensing that comes in and double checks their work, basically. Do you need just copies of our fire?
Yes, if you
So,
send us copies, that will.
that works too? Okay, well, that's kind of all, I just didn't know.
All right.
We need to have more people come in or not.
All right. All in favor of approval of the first reading? Motion carries. Next is the city administrator's report. Mr. Airy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to concentrate really on last week and what happened to our city with the heavy rains. We calculated from, at the fire station, 5 inches of rain in about 2 hours, a period of time. And I know it rained longer than that, but there was lots of rain. Last Wednesday, Chief Newhouse did a great job going around the city and securing the city, looking at early damage to the city. Around 9:30 a.m., Chief Newhouse contacted me and said that we really need to start shutting down some roads, and he had done some of that road closure. At 10 o'clock, he picked me up, and we went to the fire station, met with Chief Campbell, And I just want to say again that Chief Campbell, Chief Newhouse did a great job looking at our city. We began to assess the situation, and we decided to open up the EOC. I contacted the mayor, and he was good with that decision. So we got our EOC set up at the fire station. EMS Director Dylan joined in. We began to assess the situation. Paul joined us from Public Works, and we began to operate and close roads in the city. We ended